Did you lie about staying in Ohio to save money so you could cheat with other women? James, you said no. The lie detector test determined that was a lie. While in a relationship with Savannah, did you have sexual intercourse with another woman after Savannah left for Florida? You said no. The lie detector test determined that was a lie. Did you have sexual intercourse with a woman who sent her picture of you sleeping on her butt? You said no. The lie detector determined that was a lie.
No, it wasn't.
And finally, arrived in Florida with a hickey on your neck.
I'm done.
Did a hickey come from a woman you had sexual intercourse with? You said no. The lie detector test determined that was a lie. I can't believe it. Okay, Cruz. We asked you if you still love Nicole. You said yes. The lie detector test determined you're telling the truth. We asked you, did you do more than kiss the girl in the picture that was sent on the phone? You said no. The lie detector determined you were telling the truth. We asked you since the last show, have you had sex with any other girls besides Nicole? You said no. The lie detector determined you're telling the truth. Now here's the deal. Now here's the deal. You're having a baby. You are both 15 years old. You have a lot of responsibility. And I'm telling you right now, the adults in these families better step up and add to the lives of these kids and the unborn child. And I got nothing else to say. We'll be back right after this. Thank you. You were asked if you had sex with more than the 10 boys your mother knows about. You said no, and the lie detector determined that's a lie, more than 19 boys. You had sex with more than one boy at a time. You said no. The lie detector determined that's a lie, more than 2 boys at least once. You were asked if you gave a boy oral sex in the backyard for a pack of cigarettes. You said no. The lie detector determined lie. If you had sex for $500 when you were asked to. You said no. The lie detector determined you were telling the truth. But that's it. Well, guess what? There's going to be no reason to lie anymore because we're going to straighten you out today. We'll be back there. During your relationship with Destiny, have you ever had sexual intercourse with any other women? You said no. The lie detector determined that was a lie, more than 5 women. When the hours you claim to be working don't add up to the times on your pay stub, are you spending time and having sexual intercourse with another woman? You said no. The lie detector determined that was a lie. We asked you, are you attracted to Destiny's mother, April? You said no. The lie detector determined that was a lie.
You know what? You are never eating
family barbecue.
That's it. You already busted.
Did you grab Destiny's mother? Did you grab Destiny's mother's butt? You said no. The lie detector determined that was a lie. During your relationship with Destiny,
All right, I'm gonna put it back on.
have you ever tried to have sexual contact with her mother, April? You said no. The lie detector determined that was a lie. During your relationship with Destiny, have you ever had sexual intercourse with her mother, April?
Oh, hell no.
You said no. The lie detector determined you're telling the truth. So that's
Nah,
it.
come on, man. That's
Now, you're very young. You have a baby, okay? Now you got to think long and hard. All right? What are you going to do?
When you were 15 and he was 22, did you really think this was going to last forever?
Yes. The love that we had for each other, you know, we were together for a while first, you know, everything was great. And so this cheating thing came.
But you were 15. You know, we all think that, you know, our first love or whatever is going to be the only love we have.
It wasn't my first love. It wasn't like that. You know, I had a lot of things happening in my life that's made me mature so much more than any other.
So in other words, you're saying to me that at 16, you're not really 16. You think he's cheating on you? Do you think he regrets marrying? We asked you, do you feel you got married too soon? You said no. The lie detector test determined that's a lie. We asked you, do you think you are too young to be a father? You said no. The lie detector test determined that was a lie.
Why would you want to have a baby then? Why would you get married if you think you're too young?
We asked you, do you enjoy being a father? You said yes. The lie detector test determined that was a lie. We asked you, do you secretly wish you were single? You said no. The lie detector test determined that was a lie. We asked you, when Dominique found scratches on your back, were they from a woman you were cheating with? You said no. The lie detector test determined you were telling the truth. We asked you, when money comes up missing, are you spending it on other women? You said no. The lie detector test determined you're telling the truth. We asked you, have you ever cheated or had any sexual contact whatsoever with another woman other than Dominique? You said no. The lie detector test determined you're telling the truth. We'll be right back after this. We have a lie detector test. You took it. We've got the results of it. We asked you, when your mother found 3 men in your house in the middle of the night, were you having sex? You said no. The lie detector test determined that was a lie. Destiny, we asked you how many boys you've had sex with. Now, you admitted that it's more than the one boy your mother knows about. And the lie detector test determined it was even more than that. You've had sex with more than 10 boys.
No, it's not true.
We asked you out and say you're with your friends, are you really having sex? You said no. The lie detector test determined that was a lie. You had sex more than 10 times.
That is a lie. I don't care. That is a lie.
Destiny, we all know you're not sneaking out the window to go hang out. For what? You can do
What
that
else am I
during
supposed to do?
the day. Go
We
bed.
asked if you anybody over the age of 17. You said no. The lie detector test determined that was a lie. One was 19.
How was it 19? No, it wasn't. Whatever.
Nothing's true.
No.
Well, you know
Right.
something? If you want to change, you got to start admitting things.
It's not a lie.
We'll be back
It's not
right
a
after
lie.
this. Deja, we got all the lie detector tests, all right? We're going to find out right now. We're going to go with each incident separately. First, we're going to deal with the tax money, all right? Okay. Lena, did you steal your mother Deja's tax return money? You said no. The lie detector determined you are telling the truth. Malachi, did you steal your mother Deja's tax return money? You said no. The lie detector test determined you are telling the truth. DJ, did you steal your mother Deja's tax return money? You said no. The lie detector determined you are telling the truth. Javarius, did you steal your mother's Deja's tax return money? You said no. The lie detector test determined you're telling the truth.
That's music to my ear. That is music to my
Somebody else in your house you don't know about?
Mom, come on,
Yeah.
be here.
They aren't able to be here, but that's okay.
Well, guess what? We got the jug money.
All right.
We got that mystery, all right?
Yes.
Lena, did you steal your mother Deja's jug full of money? You said no. The lie detector determined you are telling the truth. Malachi,
Malachi, did you steal your mother Deja's jug of money? You said no. The lie detector determined you are telling the truth. DJ, did you steal your mother Deja's jug of money? You said no. The lie detector determined you are telling the truth. And Javarius, did you steal your mother Deja's jug of money? You said no, and the lie detector determined that was a lie.
Get married in 2 weeks on Valentine's Day to my fiance Sean. I should be planning my wedding, but instead, I'm sitting here about to find out if he's cheating. I'm finding naked pictures in his phone, pajama pants in his bedroom, and hair ties in his car. He swears that I'm the only woman he wants to be with, but I do not believe it. Samantha and Sean were living together right around the time that she got pregnant. Not only did I hear that they were sleeping together, but she will not tell me who the father of her baby is. And her son was born with red hair, just like my fiance. I'm worried that I'm about to make a huge mistake. I need to know what I'm getting myself into.
I love everything about Jessica. She means the whole world to me. I love her smile and her personality, and I want to marry her. One of the most important things in a relationship is trust. Jessica thinks that I slept with her best friend Samantha, and I might be the father of her child. I never slept with Samantha, and I am not the father of her child. Jessica thinks I'm sleeping with girls in my house and in my car, but she's out of her mind. I know that the lie detector test will prove her wrong, and that will show her how loyal I am to her and this relationship.
Yeah, look at my baby. My baby is a handsome little man, and he sure is not your baby's
we thought
son.
this story was so important to bring to you that we've just been able to book these people at the last minute, so we weren't able to give Sean a DNA test, but we did give a lie detector test to ask all those questions. Here are the answers. We asked you, Sean, did the pajama pants that Jessica found in your bedroom belong to a woman you were having sexual intercourse with? You said no. The lie detector test determined you're telling the truth. We asked you, during your relationship with Jessica, how many times have you had sexual intercourse with another woman that she does not know about? You said none. The lie detector test determined that was a lie. You've had sex 3 times. We asked you, did the pictures of girls that Jessica found in your phone belong to a woman that you were having any type of sexual contact with? You said no. The lie detector test determined that was a lie.
Are you
Sean, he's 18. We asked you, Sean, do you think you are too young to get married? You said no. The lie detector test determined that was a lie.
You're done. I'm done.
We asked you, is there a chance that Samantha's son might be your son? You said no. The lie detector test determined you're telling the truth. And we asked you, have you ever had any sexual contact with Samantha? You said no. The lie detector test determined you're telling the truth.
Told you. You like everything else, so
So is the wedding off, Samantha?
it's done. I'm done. He's gonna be riding solo.